Hey, fellas, what's up?
Andre, this Robert Easter, you know he's a taller guy. Does he like to get in there and fight too much to win a fight against Mikey Garcia? Is his style? What do you think of the fight?
Well, I mean, Robert's going to have to change his entire fight program. Something that he hasn't done yet. So I think it's going to be very difficult for him to switch course in driving. He's driving now, and he usually likes to race. So it's going to be kind of difficult to slow down and find range. And against a fighter of Mikey's caliber, it's going to be even more difficult. But I'm looking forward to an entertaining bout. And of course, I brought my fighter, Richard Tommy, here to find out who's going to be the winner. And we'll be looking forward to battling the winner of that bout sometime at the end of this year.
Now we got, you had to make not a tough decision, but it was a hurtful decision, I should say. You have two of your kids fighting each other for an IBF scrap.
Unbelievable decision. Honestly, if I could, I would separate myself from the entire event. But I can't because Danny's my son. I tell everybody, Danny's my son, Sergey's my nephew.
I read that.
But I have to stand with my son. We've been together since he started this thing, and we're going to do what we can to win the fight. But I know Sergey. I've worked with him for 3 years. He's a fantastic talent. Don't be surprised if these guys end up being in a draw. I'm telling you, they're great talents, and you might see similarities in the things they do because, once again, they were taught from the same concept.
Speak like a true politician.
Is it awkward for you though, Andre?
Oh, it's very awkward. I told everyone when we have the press conference, the first thing I'm going to say is, can you say awkward? Because that's what I am right now. I'm feeling super duper awkward. But they wanted, I'm just their trainer. They wanted to do this. The opportunity, the money, they can't say no to it, and it is what it is.
But Danny's last 2 fights, he's pretty almost shut out, not shut out, but he's comfortably won against a couple of undefeated fighters. Right. Sounds like you're thinking this is going to be a little tougher than the last 2 fights.
I know what Sergey brings to the table. Right. I've led Sergey into every fight since he's been here. So I know what he brings to the table, and he's a very, very good technician, aka his moniker, El Technician. And it's going to be a difficult bout for both of them.
How many fights does he have left on Showtime? I mean HBO, excuse me.
I think they're coming up in their last one. If I'm not.
Is the plan obviously transition to the zone?
I don't know about that. I don't know exactly what they plan to do. Because one day it's one thing, the next day it's another. I just want to make sure that Danny's always ready to fight.
What do you think of Boo Andrade and Billy Joe signing on to fight in October?
I've been pushing for that forever. As you well know, Andrade is one of my very special babies. And I'll let anybody in the world know, since he was a little one, he's been in my circle, in my life. I'm his uncle, he's my nephew, he's a fantastic talent, and yes, I will be helping him prepare for the BJ Saunders fight.
Has he been, as talented as he is capable, has he been too inactive to pull off the win against Saunders?
I don't think so. Saunders been inactive also.
That's true.
I mean, it's like you're bringing it to the table. The one thing about Boo Boo is that he stays in the gym, and he's always ready to rock. And I think when it comes together, he's going to be the superior athlete out of the 2 southpaws when they fight. And Boo Boo's going to be the WBO middleweight champion of the world when that bout is concluded.
You mentioned you're their father, uncle, type of relationship. Do they consult with you as it relates to, I think I'm signing with HBO, Eddie Hearn, I think I'm going to go with the zone. Do they consult with you on that?
I do that more with Boo Boo than anybody else. Boo Boo and I have a very, very special relationship. And it's just that we have a good time talking to each other.
Talk about going to the zone app versus Showtime what happened with HBO? I thought like 6 months ago he was supposed to fight on HBO, but that fight dissolved.
Boo Boo?
Yeah, Boo Boo.
You know what? Not to belittle or denigrate any promoter, but his promotional team was not the best for him. And I've said that all along. Joe DeGuardia and I are good friends. But Joe DeGuardia, in my opinion, that's my opinion, could be a lot better at the job of promoting. And I like Joe as a person, but you can't think small time and want to be big time at the same time. It doesn't work. And Boo Boo should have definitely been in a better promotional environment, and he could have been at the top of the mountain now. Now we're behind schedule, but we'll pick it back up. We'll get right, and Boo Boo will represent, and he'll be a huge star in boxing. A lot of people talk about my nephew in so many really horrible ways, but they don't understand the ergonomics of boxing. It's not always what's going on in front of your eyes. Behind the scenes are a real bitch at some point in time.
Was it a close race between Showtime and the Zone, or was it just Eddie Hearn was just the front runner all along because he had Daniel Jacobs?
Well, no, I mean, there were situations that brought themselves to pass. Once he got free of the promotional entities he was with for so long and realistically never advanced, it was time for him to spread his wings, and now he can fly. So he's doing R. Kelly.
No, don't say that again.
No, wait, listen. Wait, let me finish it. He's doing R. Kelly. I believe I can fly without flying into some little girl's
I got the metaphor.
All right, okay.
Last one for me, man. Because again, Boo Boo's won almost all his fights comfortably, and you know him as well as anybody in the game. So how much dog does he have in him, you think, if the Saunders fight just comes down to who wants it more?
Oh, forget about it. Boo Boo by a landslide. Boo Boo is all dog. Let me tell you something. He has some of the most beautiful pit bulls I've ever saw in my life. Actually, one of his pit bulls is named Handsome because he really is so handsome. And these dogs are trained, but they are just like he is. He's smooth, he's charismatic, but don't get him on the wrong side. Because you get him on the wrong side, he's going to be a pit bull. And he's going to bite, and he's going to dig, and he's going to tear, and he's going to take care of the business. My nephew is a dog.
Thanks, Trey.
And so it seemed like after Billy Joe Saunders, the landscape kind of shrinks for y'all with the Zone. How do you think you'll be able to get the fight, being that Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua didn't happen?
Right.
How are we able to see Boo Boo Andrade, quote unquote, spread his wings and fly?
Well, there's still opportunities, of course. You always have somebody coming up. You have Murata, you have Lemieux, you have Sullivan. I mean, there's fights there. There's things that can happen, and that just those names I mentioned. That's a year work. So, and another year brings more acclimation of new athletes to the game. So there'll always be work for them.
And getting back to Daniel Jacobs, what's the secret to Daniel Jacobs? Why the crossover? He's done everything right. He's only been lost two fights, but one that we both know. Why hasn't he crossed over? It seems like he does everything right. He's got a great backstory. Has his son front row at every fight. Has his long-term girlfriend.
Right.
You know, why hasn't he?
Well, in my opinion, we just need to promote a bit more.
Okay.
Nowadays, promoters don't promote. They really don't. I'll give you a perfect example. We came out here, Richard Cummey and myself, to see the fight between Garcia and Easter, and we don't have a credential to get in here. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm one of the trainers that at least should be able to get a credential. Why don't we have that? Why? Because promoters don't promote. They need to promote. And you should not have to ask about these things. They should just happen. Good promoters present their athletes and give them focal points where you wonderful media can pick up and absorb and talk about it. We don't get that. And that's one of the major problems. You got to promote. If I want people to know what this symbol is back here, I'm wearing it. I'm letting you know it's Havoc time. You got to promote. And that's one of the problems. So we need to get Danny more media coverage, more accessibility, and he's a wonderful young man. He doesn't deny autographs when you want to talk to him. He's cordial, he's intelligent, he doesn't have an attitude. We need to promote him so he can be the star that he is.
Who wins, Joshua Wilder?
Oh man, listen. Initially I was a big Joshua fan, but I'm starting to see some things from a training aspect. And we were just talking about the dog in you, like back in the day. Wilder's got a whole lot of dog in him. I mean, he might not have the best technical capability, but he has dog in him. And that's the part that bothers me about Joshua. In the Parker fight, I was looking for something. I saw a poodle. And I'm not talking about the big ones that can hurt you if they bite you. I'm not talking about the ones that are here. I'm talking about the little one. And even if it bit you in your ankle, you can still plug it in the head and it's gone. I need to see some more out of him. I'm not seeing enough dog in him. And now I'm having myself leading towards Wilder winning that fight.
I probably can say this to you. It seems like Deontay Wilder's spirit is connected to his ancestors. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
You understand where I'm coming from?
I understand fully.
I think it's something different about him and everything that surrounds him.
That's
it's
a
the
major
dog,
difference.
it's the spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The
He started
fire.
boxing at 19. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just something unique about him that I gravitate toward. But we're going to see.
Oh,
someday.
I hope so. I mean, it's so much bric-a-bracking about making it. Another problem that we have, not getting the good ones off. Thank God for a fight like this. Thank God.
You heard it.
Yeah.
Going down.
Thank God for a fight like this. And like I said, we need fights like that so that we can say boxing is alive and well. You can't keep avoiding the big fights and expect the sport to flourish. It can't flourish that way. You have to fight, and the best have to fight the best so we can climb that mountain to super success in the sport.
I'll give this Jamel Charlo, since we're rolling. And you're going to have to fight him soon with either fighter.
I'm going to tell you something. Jamel is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. But if he fights Daniel Jacobs, if he fights Demetrius Andrade, if he fights Sergey Derevyanchenko, he's not winning. He's not winning. So keep it plain and simple. I like what he does in the ring, but at middleweight, he's done nothing so far. And what is he going to do now? All the big dogs are out there. You got to fight one of them. You understand? You got to show your face somewhere, because we can't see another Helenis. We can't see another. What was the young man he just beat?
Austin Charlo. No. He beat. That's the younger brother. He beat the Centeno kid.
Centeno. We can't see that again. Not at all. We need to see him fighting real guys. I like to see him fight a Zaleski. He was there live and in full effect against Danny. I want to see a fight like that. Show me something. Don't show me this in Centeno. The poor Helenis, the poor man he didn't even walk up the stairs. He limped up the stairs with a brace on his leg and still tried to fight. Come on, man. Show me some real challenges, some real opposition. Show me that. I haven't seen it yet at 164. He did a good job at 154. I haven't seen it at 160. I need to see him in some heat, and then I'll tell you more about it.
Since you talk about fighting and boxing, Daniel Jacobs is probably top 10 boxer in terms of just actual skill.
Right.
When he gets to infighting, it's not top 10 maybe per se, top 20, top 30.
Right.
Why doesn't he? And I know you're on him. I rewatch all your fights at least 5 times during the week. What goes in his head when he does those exchanges? Like, for example, Gennady Golovkin, if he uses all that ring, it's an 8-4 fight.
Right.
Zaleski, it's an 8-4 fight, 9-3 fight.
You know what it is? You know what? Sometimes Danny's trying too hard. And that's the dog in him. That's a real dog in him. Like, I said, Danny, son, listen to me. That is not necessary right now. The first order on the meeting agenda is to be articulate and win. Then you start hunting for the KO. But what we must do is set up our attacks and keep winning. And sometimes he wants to win a little bit more than the plan which was set upon to do, and he wants to go ahead of it. But that's the dog in it. I try to slow him down, get him using his jab more, and when he gets inside, be more effective. I really want him to go to the body whenever he gets inside. But he's looking. Oh man. He's looking up.
Oh my God. I'm like, so that's me, man. I'm like, don't open up. Man.
Exactly. You know? And that's something I'm really working with him on, to slow him down and to sharpen him up. I appreciate the energy that he's presenting when he's doing it. Oh, sure. But I need him to be sharp and articulate. So I'm working on that constantly.
Okay. How good is Triple G? I know we gotta go. How good is Triple G?
Triple G is very good. He's very good. But there's things that you could do to combat his capabilities. The one thing you'll always have a problem with Triple G with is his jab. His jab is monumental and paramount, meaning he doesn't use it just to offset action, he uses it to control action. And if all else fails, he will jab you to death. Touch, up, down, touch. And I really appreciate that. And from a trainer who wants his fighters to always use the jab as that tool of direction, I'd like to see them do more. I appreciate his effort.
You know what, I actually did an article and I said, if you watch Triple G on TV, you have no respect for him. You think he's slow, you think he's white, but when you see him in person, he's like the Blob. Right. You remember the movie The Blob?
Right.
He just overcomes the whole city. Like the ring shrinks, his jab gets a little bit quick around there. He's like, man, he's on me.
Exactly.
You know, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. No. He might be a little overhyped, but I think he's still well above. He's a silver medalist, not by accident.
I agree with you 100%. I think sometimes they overhype the monster quote unquote factor, but he is consistent. He can punch. I wouldn't say he was a hellacious puncher, but he can punch. He can punch to, sort of shake you up. I think there've been bigger punches, like guys that hit you with one shot and it's all over, aka my nephew Curtis. Curtis on point is like, forget it, one shot and you're going to sleep. But he is consistent. Triple G is so consistent, it's not even funny. And that's what makes him a really good champion.
Congratulations on last week. Was it last week or the weekend before, Curtis Stevens?
Oh yes.
I apologize. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much. He came out after 13 months, no boxing. Represented, fought for the IBA title. Steve Schmoger was our referee, which was an honor and a pleasure. And we fought in a hostile environment, as you can well see. But Curtis, he started, he looked a little rusty in rounds 1 and 2, but it started coming together. And what our plan was for him to work on his body shots, because that's where he's lethal at.
Well, with his height in that division, he should be lethal.
Exactly. And he went to work. He started tearing
I saw it.
his body apart, and then in the 4th round, it was maybe, give me about maybe 20 more seconds and he would have put the kibosh on it. The brother of Cruz stopped the fight, and that's when all hell broke loose. The mother, she jumped in the ring, and then all bottles and chairs, and then maybe about 3 or 4 minutes into the fracas, here comes bullets. So I was like, oh my God, incredible. But we got out of there with the win. Curtis got hit in the head with a bottle. Thank God it wasn't serious. And it was just an unbelievable night. But our goal was to get him fighting again. And he did exactly what we wanted him to do. So we're going down to 54. I think Curtis is going to be an incredible threat at 154. And here we go.
Congratulations, continued success.
Thank you.
Thanks for being an ambassador of boxing. I don't talk to you much, but when I do, I thank you. I appreciate you, man.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you, King. Appreciate you. Thank you, Coach.
One last question. Can you break down Garcia Porter real quick?
Oh yeah, Garcia Porter.
I tell you, that's a tough one. What I know about both fighters, Sean never stops coming. He's perpetual motion. Danny likes to counterpunch. Now, in the best of scenarios, a sharp counterpuncher can work on a pressure fighter, but you have to have fast feet. And Danny, sometimes he plods a little bit, and that's what gets him in trouble. He's going to have to pick up the pep in his step. He's going to have to get a little bounce going on. And Sean is going to have to be more mobile in his attacks. He's coming at you, but he's going to have to be more mobile. When I say mobile,
more angular.
Exactly. He can't come right in like he has to bob and weave his way. Joe Frazier style, Dwight Braxton style. You can't come right in on that, because you're going to get hit with the counters if you do that. So, and listen, both of these young men are very, very near and dear to me. That's what happens when you come up and you're seeing all of these young men develop. And Danny Garcia, he's been an ambassador for Havoc for a long time. I make every uniform that he wears. Sean, these guys are family to me. So, may the best man win on this one. I can't pick a winner because there's so many variables that are going to be taking place, but I think it's going to be a fantastic fight.
Do you see it ending in knockout or decision?
I don't see a knockout because Danny's got a chin of granite and Sean is tough as nails. So I think it's going to go 12, but with it going 12, it's going to make it a super exciting fight. So we want it to go 12 because it's going to be a monster blast.
Thank you, Coach.
You're very welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.